You're listening to the AfterBuzz TV Network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Keith. Johnson.
From the AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com, and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies, this is AfterBuzz TV for OWN, the Oprah Recap Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. If you'd like to buzz in on tonight's show, you can buzz us at 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AfterBuzz TV's OWN, the Oprah Recap Show.
What is going on? What is going on, America? It is so great, so great to be so back in the house with you on the OWN, the Oprah Recap Show. And we are another edition here in the AfterBuzz Studios, and everybody Bing is for doing. And we are so here at AfterBuzz TV Studios, getting ready to bring you a action-packed full show that is going to be so perfect for your brains, so perfect for your minds. I mean, this is one of these type of shows that you definitely have to make sure you stick on your Facebook pages, retweet, and Twitter, YouTube, ReadTube, however you want to do it. You want to redo everything with this message and put it out there, because we're going to really be getting into some key points that will change your life, your mind, and your whole direction of everything you're doing if you take some of this information in and you really utilize it and apply it. And remember, this is just a portion that we're going to get here, but this is for you to go in and get some more. So like we always do, we got my amazing co-host in the house. We got Miss Shereen in the house. What's going on, Miss Shereen? What's going on? We going on. And now we got B. Winston here in the house also. He's got to get him on the phone line, actually. We got B. Winston coming in, so you'll be hearing him in a little bit. We got Miss Shereen. What's going on, Shereen? How you been?
You know, been good. The sun is out.
The sun is out. It's been really pretty and beautiful out here these last couple of days. Now, the other day it was kind of hot. It was like 80-something degrees, and then it'd be cold at night. It's like you got to have your AC on in the day, and then you got to have your heat on at night. Like, you got to have both AC and heat. I see that's why they put them in the same day. So for sure. So like we always do back in the house, we have like Ronnie. He told us not to call him DJ Ronnie.
No
DJ Ronnie. So we got Ronnie Jr. He's not here, but in the house today, we got the Street Doctor back. We got Street Doctor Phil. What's going on, brother?
Welcome.
Welcome,
good to be back.
We appreciate you being back, man. Thank you. It's always good to have our old school folks back into the new school house. Definitely. So like we always do, everybody, we just want to tell you how much that we love you and we appreciate you. Make sure that you are tuning in. Make sure that you are calling in also at 424-256-1729. Again, that's 424-256-1729. Make sure that you're calling in, and also make sure that you are leaving comments, people. It is so important that we read your comments. Don't just leave a message. I'm not leaving a message. You can't leave it. Yeah, just leave a message, actually, but write it. Your comments are so important, and make sure that you're clicking on iTunes and you're downloading also. So it's more than just downloading. We need your comments. We love your comments. I personally, me and Shereen, we want to hear what you have to say about the show and how is it benefiting your life, etc. So we want to hear that. So like we always do, we want to go in straight into the words of the week, the words of the day, the words for your life for this moment. And we're going to take you straight into anything as possible. So write to Miss Shereen for the words of the day.
All right. Get ready, because anything is possible.
Anything is possible.
All right. There are no promises that life will be easy. However, easy or hard is not the question. I'm convinced that the only question we need ever ask is it possible?
That's true.
The answer will always be yes, because all things are possible, especially when we apply faith. If only the size of a mustard seed and a lot of patience. If you give yourself wholeheartedly to each assignment, you can reach astonishing heights. Each task offers you something to learn, which you might draw on one day. Every new thing you learn provides you with an opportunity to improve yourself in the future. You are always in training, preparing for a time yet to come.
That's what's up.
That is so
right, always in training, right?
You will receive abundant rewards for going out of your way to give more than is required of you. Make it a habit to always give just that little bit extra. If you habitually invest only minimum amounts of energy into your obligations, you end up with a life that is minimally happy.
Right.
One of the best ways to advance your life is to go that extra mile.
That is true. Just to mention, and people don't realize the stretching part. Stretching for a person is so important. So many people don't stretch themselves outside of their current situations, and so they never know. And when they do, stretching don't always feel good. That's why most people don't do it, and even in real life. But I mean, when you stretch outside your boundaries, you get exposed to new ways of thinking. You get exposed to new life principles that you can add, new experiences, new confidence.
Right.
When you realize what is out there. So many people don't want to, you know, go in and really see what the future holds. They're actually scared of what the future holds. They feel like, I know what's going on here now. Even though everything else around them could be changing, you know, they don't want to change with it. There was a book called Who Moved My Cheese? You know, that was a great book, which about change, and so many people having to be on that and stretching themselves and being able to go with the flow and being able to maneuver. And so I will say that's a good point for the words of the day. So really quick, what we're going to do is we're going to take us into a really quick commercial. And when we come back, we have our special guest in the house. Miss Shereen's going to bring him in. We got Mr. Kaya Redford coming in. So we're going to bring him in, and shortly we're going to take you to a strict commercial plug. I said a strict commercial plug. It is strict.
It's so strict.
It's strict, and it's right now on AfterBuzz TV. We are the OWN recap show, everybody. We'll be right back.
AfterBuzz TV.
Hi, I was once like you, a lazy, angry loner whose only joy was watching TV and surfing the net. And like you, after I'd see one of my favorite TV shows, I'd be so excited and have so many questions that I'd actually have to talk to my douchebag coworkers about it at the water cooler. Then I discovered AfterBuzzTV.com. AfterBuzz TV produces after-show webcasts and podcasts for TV series of all kinds, like post-game wrap-up shows for all your favorite TV shows. AfterBuzz TV hosts are industry insiders who break down episodes of shows, take calls from fans, and interview cast and crew from each series, with over 60 different after shows, from Boardwalk Empire to American Idol to Vampire Diaries to Real Housewives, and more. Now, after a night of TV, I can ignore my stupid coworkers, who I hate, and go straight to my desk and watch or listen to all my favorite AfterBuzz TV after shows, and have all the TV fan interaction I need. Thank you, AfterBuzz TV.
AfterBuzz TV. What do you want to buzz about?
Want to find out what the AfterBuzz is about?
Janice is a drama queen.
Is this the divide that is going to carry the series?
Give us a call. 424-256-1729. 424-256-1729.
This television, and they want it to be as dramatic as possible.
I mean, it's Shakespearean.
You never know what goes on behind closed doors.
Find out why AfterBuzz TV is the #1 source for after-show content.
Now, in the eyes of Jimmy, Nucky is a villain.
424-256-1729. 424-256-1729.
I mean, who would you guys rather hear that from? Your husband or your best friend?
When the TV show is over, get your AfterBuzz on.
What's going on, everybody? What's going on, everybody? We are so back and in full effect in the house on the OWN Oprah Recap. So, Miss Shereen, we want you to do us the flavor and the pleasure to be able to present our guest.
All right. So, as you guys know, I've been prepping you for a while that I'm going to have somebody special in his house, right?
Yes.
Yes, and this is the AfterBuzz, his house. So as you can see, he's very attractive, which is not really the focus of our show.
Love the accent.
But yeah, right?
That just rolled out.
It just came out. Inspired by the adorable suit here.
Right.
It's like a summer suit. Do you guys like this? Okay,
Cool.
so I appreciate you guys coming back after the commercial break. Thank you, Brookshire, for always holding it down. I love you. And so what's happening here is we basically have the guest that I've been prepping you for like about a month.
Yes.
I love this man. Love him. He's not only beautiful on the outside, but definitely on the inside. I can honestly say that he has affected my life in a positive way on a crazy level. I don't even know how to describe the level, but he definitely took me from one level to the next in my life. And so interacting with this man, I like to call it, it's a game changer. So I want you to get excited for your game to be changed right now. So with no further ado, I introduce to you Mr. Kaya Redford.
Yes, what's up? What's going on, sir?
I'm excited.
Yes, I'm excited. You don't know how excited I am for you to be here.
I'm feeling your excitement.
Well, I'm glad you feel my excitement. And you know, it's so good to be in this kind of energy because everybody's kind of, that energy is so important. And so, you know, all that's waving and coming and flowing. And I really, really love it. So fans, everyone, you're going to be so amazed with what we're getting ready to go into. So make sure that you have your pens and your pads out because this is perfect note-taking time because we're going to be what they call infusing things inside of your system that is going to make you and force you to change because again, when the brain expands, it never goes back to the original state. And so even though your eyes may shut, your ears never cut off, everybody. So make sure that you're perked up and you're listening because we're going to give you the meat right now. So Mr. Redford.
The meat and the potatoes
the meat
right
and
here,
the
right
potatoes
now.
And the, and the corn. And I love corn. You got to have corn. That's a great filler. So really quick, when we get started into this, what I want to do was get the audience to know who you were first before we go into specific questions.
Absolutely.
Now, I want you to tell us pretty much how you got to this point and, you know, of consciousness and ways of thinking. Tell us your story and how you got here.
Yeah.
You know, that's a great question. We all have our point A.
Yes.
And my point A is up until about 33, I was asleep. I don't know if some of you viewers or listeners have thought about or felt like in your life you're just kind of going through the motions. You don't really necessarily have a purpose. You don't even really know what the purpose is. You don't even know what the clear direction you're going in is.
Right.
And you're really not living a full expression of who you are. You're not really you know, excited and passionate about getting up every single day, doing the thing you love because maybe you haven't even discovered what that is.
Right.
So up until 33, I was in that dark place, and then I watched the movie The Secret. Came out in 2004.
Right.
That was a game changer. That was a game changer because prior to that movie, I was thinking, you know, maybe somebody will pick me. Maybe somebody will come into my life and see something more in me than I see in myself. Yeah. And so I was in this darkness. And when I watched that movie and I heard Bob Proctor speak, and he later became my mentor and actually worked with him. We did a business together called Science of Getting Rich. Bob Proctor, Michael Beckwith, and Jack Canfield.
I know Michael Beckwith.
Yes,
definitely.
Amazing individuals.
Yes.
And when he spoke, he said, you know, you can have what you want. You are at cause. You're creating your experience of reality by the virtue of the thoughts you have, by the virtue of what you decide to do in your life. You create anything you want. There's nothing that's going to be handed to you. It's all by conditioning of your mind, conditioning your thoughts, conditioning of your behaviors, and then you can bring anything into your reality that you choose to.
Yes.
And I was just like, really? Because I'm just waiting for. I'm waiting to win the lotto or something. Because I don't know.
Somebody to give you
or
something.
Somebody give me something that I feel I don't have. Or somebody see something in me that I feel I don't have. Yeah. And you know, a lot of us, I think we get to. Each and every person on this planet has had a journey, has had a story. That was my story. My story was I had a really tough childhood. I had, in many ways, an incredible childhood, and in some ways, a really tough childhood. And those things. Put like a cloud. Put a cloud. So the sun was always there. Yeah. The sun that is you, the sun that is me, is always shining and it's always bright. But sometimes there's this cloud that just looms in front of us that blocks our vision of our truth, blocks our vision of who we really are.
Yes.
And so what I've come to find out is that there's tools that we have in the world that can remove that cloud.
Okay.
That can give you the clarity, that can give you, that can show you who you really are. I mean, Oprah is an incredible leader, and she's been through a lot.
Yes.
A lot of the top people in this world have been through a lot, have gone through an incredible journey. And even in the book Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill talks about it. Everything that happens that's possibly negative in your life has an equal and opposite benefit. So you turn, you know, the lemons to lemonade. So it's really about transmuting energy.
Right.
So if you find yourself in that place, just know that there's tools. So we can talk about that.
Right.
The tools that help you get to where you go.
Where you go.
Yes, and one of the tools is neuro-linguistic programming.
Neuro-linguistic program. And, you know, and
drop the bomb right there.
I love it. Now, going into neuro-linguistic program, before we go into there, I just want to touch really quick on the law of attraction, how you were able to grab and understand that, because, you know, we know that there's a law of attraction, then they move into the law of creation. It's like when you attract it, what do you do with it? So I want to hear your opinion on how, when The Secret definitely hit the law of attraction and bring it into your existence, how did that affect you? What did this information do to your psyche that made you change, and how did you apply it?
Yes, and actually, you know, Oprah, you know, did a heck of a lot to help The Secret. You know, they had all the speakers of The Secret on there. And I think there was an interview where she talked about the law of attraction, how it's really worked in her life. Right. And yet we know the law of attraction is one law, and there's a whole bunch of other laws. So The Secret did a huge benefit to the planet because it brought to a global scale this knowledge. Right. Yet it brought a limited piece of it, 1% of the overall knowledge.
Correct.
There are so many other laws. So law of attraction, ironically, the last 6 letters of attraction is what?
Attract.
Action.
Action, right.
You cannot attract anything.
Duh.
And that's good. It's perfect. You cannot attract anything without taking action.
Good point.
Now, the law of attraction works based on who you are, what you have going on internally. We have in neuro-linguistic programming, which we'll get to in a moment, we have our conscious mind, what we want, and then we have our unconscious mind, which is all of our memories, all of our emotions, our reservoirs. Right. It's almost like the conscious mind, you might liken it to being at the top of the ocean on the surface. Okay. The unconscious mind is almost like the iceberg that's beneath the surface. It has everything there. Now, you don't, in The Secret, this is the thing I want everybody as you're listening to this to really understand. You don't get what you hope and what you wish and what you pray for. Right. Okay? I would like to, because we hear a lot of spiritual messages that say pray, pray, pray. Yes, prayer is a starting place. Yes. But you don't get what you hope and wish and you pray for. You get what you expect.
That's a good point.
You get what you expect to get. So if you're hoping and you're wishing and you're praying for something that's outside of you, that's in the future, that's at someday, that you don't feel you have within you now, that it's yours, you own it now, you're not expecting to get it now, so you're putting it off. And what happens is you put it off in the unconscious, your unconscious pushes it away because it says, hey, Jack, you're not ready for it. You don't believe you're ready for it. So it's someday in the future you'll be ready for it. Just like where I was at, someday in the future someone will pick me. Right. I realized I had to pick me. Yeah. I realized it was me just to wake up. That I'm just picking myself. Right. I'm just picking myself. We're all picking ourselves at that moment and making a decision. So what do I mean by what you expect? What I mean is if you, for instance, if you're walking around saying, I want to attract an additional $50,000 into my pocket. Right. And then now you see someone else that has all the money and you're like, oh, you know, those people, man, they have attitudes or they're egotistical, people with money, or you start judging people who have money, or you happen to have perhaps even just a slight jealous tone or whatever. Not to say that's even anything you're doing bad. You just have a resistance to other people having it. Consciously, we know you want the money, but unconsciously, your unconscious mind says, I don't want you to have the money because you think at the unconscious level that if you have the money, you're going to become a bad person. And I don't want you to become a bad person. So I'm going to make sure you never get the money. Right?
As hard as you try.
Can I give you another example?
Yes.
The lady that made a goal, in 6 months, I'm going to rock it in this business and I'm going to buy myself this nice Mercedes. Right. And in 6 months from now, she ends up buying a Hyundai. Right? Instead of a Mercedes. Right. Yeah. Okay. At the unconscious level, she's sending a message. At the unconscious level, what do you think that message is?
That she really can't get the Mercedes.
Yeah. That you can never have what you really want.
Even though she's thinking about it, it's not deep.
What you can never have what you really want. That's the message. The unconscious mind is you. If I can go deep for a moment, the unconscious mind is you. It's as old as you are. In fact, some believe it's actually even older than you are.
I can believe that.
Yet, I will share this. The unconscious mind is a mind that's not an analytical thinking mind. It is a mind likened to your 5 or 6 year old brother or sister. You know, it's your inner. We could say it has the conscious mind's the thinking mind, the analytical, logical mind. The unconscious mind is the feeling mind. So it has a very simplistic way of thinking. That's why when you have dreams, your unconscious mind is speaking in these vivid dreams and very colorful pictures, almost like a child telling a story. Because guess what? That's you. So what we're doing with neurolinguistic programming is we're creating a connection between your conscious mind and your unconscious mind. Why? Because we've studied and we know your unconscious mind is the thing that rules 90% of your behavior.
Yes.
Your unconscious mind is the thing that rules 90% of your behavior and gives you 90% of your results in your life. In fact, almost everything is unconscious. All your learning. But if I ask you what your phone number is right now, you tell me what your phone number is. If prior to asking you what your phone number was, where was it? You weren't consciously thinking of it.
Right.
It was at your unconscious level. It was tapped in there. Your emotions, everything is it's beneath the surface. It's the depth of who you are. It's at you in your soul level. So in order for you to engage your unconscious mind, knowing that it's doing everything in its power to give you what you want, you need to create a rapport with it. You need to create alignment. If part of you wants this and part of you wants that, if part of you thinks I can do this and a part of me doesn't believe I think I can do it, that's just an incongruency. That you're out of alignment with your between your conscious and your unconscious, and that out of alignment shows up in your life as a struggle. That's where I was at. I was frustrated. I was in the blame game, you know, prior to 33. At 32, I was feeling like my heart was going to explode. I was running a real estate company. I had some successes with it, but I was going crazy because I was completely out of whack in my own body. I was blaming other people. I was denying that I had a problem. I was justifying my mistakes. I was minimizing my situation. And all of these things are pushing the blame outside of you for other things, it being someone else's fault or someone else's situation. Victim, correct. And what I realized is that I had to come at cause. Now, we can go and blame the past for some of the things that we experience in the now.
Right.
The reality is I wouldn't blame the past. I would bless the past because that God put us on this earth to go through, or whatever your higher power belief is, to go through a certain amount of experiences to be school.
Yeah.
Because what if everything was handed to you and it was so easy? How would we appreciate anything?
You wouldn't.
How would we even grow?
You wouldn't.
Why would you even need to grow if I just pack on all the muscle and give you all the money? How would you grow?
That's a good point. Good point.
So we need to learn the lessons, and what I do is, you know, if we want to get into it, I'm a master trainer of NLP.
NLP, yes.
Neuro-linguistic programming, and a master at timeline therapy. Really quickly.
Yes.
NLP is your neurology. NLP is a technology. It's the most powerful technology on the planet today.
Wow.
Oprah actually got out of a very similar NLP training about 2 months ago.
Right.
You know, Richard Branson, Donald Trump, a lot of the top people.
Right.
I trained Fortune 500 companies, Bank of America, New York Life, Century 21, Keller Williams, you know, the mayor of Ontario. I do one-on-one work with, you know, and, you know, we help people get rid of some of the blocks. And some of these people are already fantastic. They're already amazing. So let's make it even more amazing.
Right.
Let's grow it even more. So NLP studies the relationship between your neurology, where your beliefs are.
Okay.
Your your linguistic, which is the words you communicate. And programming, which is your patterns of behavior and your emotions. And it's saying if all three are in alignment, which is also an alignment between what you want consciously and what you expect to really receive unconsciously at your core belief system underneath the surface of that, you know, ocean. If that's in alignment, you have power. You have influence. People listen to you. You move. You achieve. You know, people flock to you. People come to you and support you in your vision because they feel the leader in you. But if those things are out of alignment, you lack power. You lack influence. The life shows up as a struggle. So we create alignment. Now, another aspect to NLP is it's very effective for leaders entrepreneurs, salespeople, because the middle piece of NLP, which is the linguistic portion, is communication. Our whole life is communication.
Yes.
The quality of your bank account right now, one of my mentors shared this with me early days. The quality of your bank account right now is 99% based on your communication. The quality of your relationships right now is based on your communication.
That's right.
The quality of your health and your vitality is dependent on your level of communication with who?
Yourself.
With yourself.
With yourself.
So it's all. So we found that NLP is also very effective for people who want to be leaders. Obama's presidential speeches, Ronald Reagan was heavily trained in NLP. Okay, considered one of the greatest communicators as president, was heavily trained in NLP.
Wow.
Okay, so it's a very effective way to learn to communicate to get better results in your life. Now, can I get to timeline therapy?
Yes, please, because I want to hear what that is.
Timeline therapy. Timeline, and I, you know, I am pumped up, aren't I?
That's great. No, that energy, they need to feel this because they're going to look at this years from now, months from now, and whoever comes in contact needs to feel that energy coming off. So
so timeline therapy. So timeline is NLP. We know it's about creating alignment.
Correct.
Okay, and creating states of excellence.
Right.
NLP is about getting rid of procrastination, making you more focused, making you more disciplined, giving you better decision making, more wealth production, and just living a more success and happy, fulfilled life.
Right.
Now, timeline therapy, I actually, you know, you say therapy, go, therapy. No, it's very simple.
Right.
It's very simple. It's a technology that goes perfectly hand in hand with NLP. What it does is it goes to the root cause. Think about it. If you have a block in your life, do you think you can just change your behavior if at the root you still have the roots that determine the behavior that are still there?
Right.
Timeline therapy goes back to the root and finds the root at the deepest place and plucks out that weed from the root so it never grows back. It removes blocks at your unconscious level, and and then when you remove the roots, what you do is you have a beautiful garden grows, right? Because the weeds are not now killing or self-sabotaging your results.
Right.
So it releases the root. So it gets rid of the root. It also gets rid of anger. We can get rid of anger in 10 minutes.
Wow. How?
That's what I'm
It's
saying.
very simple. It's actually very simple. I'll give you a quick a simple example of kind of how we would do it. Everything happens for you for a reason.
Correct.
So when you source the gift, when you look at the positive, not to say that I'm saying that was okay, that whatever happened to me or whatever experience was okay.
Right.
That's not the point. The point is to say, what is the gift? What is the learning of which will allow me to let go of the emotions easily and effortlessly. And those learnings will be stored at the unconscious level and will now be things that will be pushing me to achieve great success as opposed to being things that have been held in me from success. So with timeline therapy, we remove anger in 10 minutes.
Right.
And people laugh. They're even skeptical. We do it. I have 100% result with
awesome.
it. We remove sadness in 10 or less minutes. Fear. Not the fear that you would go to Big Bear and a bear comes at you and you'll go, hey, Kaya, remove my fear. Come eat me, I'm not scared. No, your natural hormonal, the natural fear, the fight or flight you'll have because your body needs that.
Right.
But the unwarranted, undesirable fear, the fear that says you can't do something, that fear that holds you back can be removed because that's not the truth of you anyway.
Not the truth, right.
That that's just false evidence appearing real. That's just
false
an
ego.
image. That's that's something that you bought into, a cloud that told you the sun wasn't there. But I'm sorry, the sun was always there, and the sun is you. So
good point.
So it removes anger, sadness, fear, hurt, guilt, and any other negative emotion.
Wow.
10 minutes or less per emotion, such that you can go and visit, if you choose, an event in the past that happened in the past and it has no charge anymore. It doesn't condition. Now, law of attraction, going back to the first point, you said, how's all this tied to law of attraction? Well, if I've got anger in me and I have it's unresolved at the unconscious level, I'm going to attract people, places, and things to continue making me angry.
Yes.
Yeah.
If I have sadness in me, I don't see the I don't see the sun. I don't see myself as the sun. So now I'm not going to attract people that are necessarily going to see in me what I don't see in myself, unless you get a coach.
Right.
You know, like me, I will always see the sun in you.
Right.
But for most people walking around the planet meeting other people, if you don't see the sun in yourself, they don't see the sun in you.
And they don't want to see it. Some people.
Right. So we're removing those negative emotions, bringing you to peace, happiness, and joy, because a lot of your life is dictated by your emotional state.
Wow.
Your emotional state has so much to do with your results. You know, people say, oh, timeline therapy. Kai, you're bringing that to Fortune 500 companies. Well, that's a little weird. Well, you know what? What they discover is people are bringing their family issues to work.
Exactly.
They can't all day
What
long.
do you know?
She's thinking about her husband and the kids and all this stress and this anxiety. It's hurting her performance at work. Doesn't it make sense just to wipe that out right now? Doesn't it make sense that Fortune 500 companies, since you want your bottom line to be about making more money and giving people an opportunity to succeed in life, doesn't it make sense that you would bring in a simple, easy process that gets rid of their baggage for them first, so they can perform and be happier at their job, and there'll be more harmony at work.
I agree.
Yeah.
I definitely agree. So this is a question that I want to know. And now when it comes to what I say, went all over the place. Neuro-linguistic programming.
Yes.
Now, when it comes to that, now, I know people that, now they say that anytime your body is at a dis-ease, that it can cause dis-ease. It can cause toxins and cause your body to be more acidic. Now, what do you feel the importance of your mouth and words to speak into those particular things? How important is that to change? Can you, of a person that has cancer and, you know, that's had people die in their family, they have hell all around them, and they've created these diseases in their bodies. How can you take someone that has this, that maybe didn't have the right training, and take them to heal? There's
studies that Deepak Chopra has done. We've got he's
gonna be on Oprah.
Absolutely, absolutely. We just are so blessed in this time, in this age, in 2012, when people thought it would be the end of the world. It's the new world. It's the new paradigm. It's the wake up. Yes.
Good point.
Yes, there is a death.
Yes.
The death is the old you.
The old thinking.
The blocked you is dying, and the new you is emerging. And now there's a tipping scale where we're emerging at such a great degree that we are in a paradigm shift. We know we're in a paradigm shift. Now, you talked about the disease part. A body that's in disease is a body that's not at ease. So Deepak Chopra's work and multiple other people in this area discovered that every single cell in your body is eavesdropping on the conversation you're having in your brain, in your mouth. And so when you are seeing yourself as, you know, living happy and living healthily and living abundantly, and that's the internal dialogue that's going on in your mind, your body responds. Your cells of your body are listening. Okay, there's millions and millions of neurological connections in your body that are feeding the conversation you're having from your mind to every single cell in your body. So as minute you have that thought, your body's feeling and responding to it. So if the conversation is saying, I can't beat this disease, the cells of your body, they're going, we can't beat this disease. If the conversation in your mind says, I can beat this disease, in fact, I don't even consider myself to have a disease. That's not even harmony with who I am. That's actually a false perception in the past, which I now delete. And now you're engaging your what God gave you, which is every cell in your body, to heal itself. In The Secret, talks about the lady that had cancer. And then she watched comedy movies because they know laughter and laughter and laughter helps you. Your emotional state dictates your health. You know, my dad passed of prostate cancer.
Sorry to hear that.
And it was a few 5 years ago. And when and he was being seen by the #1 prostate cancer specialist on the planet at Cedar Sinai. Okay, and I spoke to him and I said, when did this happen, or how, and I was thinking, maybe a year, 2 years prior to the diagnosis, and then 3, 4, 5 years of struggling through it, and he died. And the guy, he said to me, no, this started 25 years ago.
Wow.
25 years ago. My dad accomplished some great things in his life. He struggled in many other ways. He was, in the top 5 in the world in his industry, but with other things that he had challenges with, I think, carried a lot of stress. Oh my gosh. So much stress, so much weight, so much anxiety, what do you think what do you think that was doing to his
body and his cells.
Day after day,
Yes.
365 days a year, over 20, 25 years? The good news is you have an amazing, resilient body, and it wants to be around forever. Okay? It doesn't want to go anywhere. So the question is, what is the emotional state that you're in, and how is that affecting the body?
Yes.
Science is now saying that stress and anxiety and anger builds cancer.
Yeah.
So timeline therapy gets rid of those negative emotions easily and effortlessly, so that such that you never have to feel them again. And now you feel empowered, and you can go through your life without that anxiety. And then always go to the doctor.
Yes.
You always have to have care on both sides. So when we see clients for those, we get a doctor slip, we get a permission slip, or what do you call those? A prescription saying that the doctor saying this can only help. Right. Absolutely. Yeah. Your state of mind can only help. And so we're learning more and more about this. But what we do know is there is a definite connection. Yeah. And that's
that is awesome. Because
so awesome.
I look at, when you're moving focus, and I know we're going to be wrapping up here in a second, so I'm going to be coming now. Distractions are so big of a key, because anytime that we're getting this type of program, anytime we're getting programming in our minds to be able to take us to the next level, there's always distractions waiting to be there. Now, how do you get this programming? Say you have a disease or a cancer or something that you're fighting through, you get exposed to this program and this information. How do you stay focused with all the distractions going on around you, in your opinion?
That's a great question. You see, you know what that alludes to? That alludes to the first piece I was talking about, alignment. When you're aligned, when you have what you think, what you do, what you believe, what you say, what you walk, what you talk is all on the same page. All that stuff just bounces off you. It's almost like you have a guy walk in the room, he's cool, calm, and collected. He knows where he's at. He knows what he's doing. He moves, or a woman, she walks in the room with ease and grace. Stuff happens all around. Everybody reacts. Everybody goes in a, tailspin over it. And yet the leader stays calm and composed because he or she is aligned. So the key is this. The key is, what's the root of the distraction? Is it really the distraction? Right. It has nothing to do with outside of you. It's inside of you. What is it that's going on with me? That was the question you would ask. Right. What is it's going on with me that's allowing me to be distracted by so many things?
That's good.
How is that a lesson or a feedback mechanism to me to maybe do this NLP training that we have, timeline therapy, maybe to be doing some form of meditation, okay? Maybe to either come and work with me, Kaya Redford, or come and see somebody in your city, or find us online, or do something to get the alignment. Because with the alignment, you become that. What's the tall tree? The sequoia tree? The tree that goes, when a sequoia tree comes out of the ground, what happens? The universe just backs up. Right. Ain't no stopping that thing. You just back up. Everything that was there just backs up. Wow. In the presence of who you are, because you're going straight to the light, because that's you. But if you're coming out of the ground with it as a twig is bent, here's a quote: "As a twig is bent, so shall the tree grow." If you're coming out of the ground already bent, the tree that is going to be growing is going to be not, going North Pole, not going straight to the sun. It's going to have it's going to grow in such a way where it's not going to get to its greatest potential. Right. And the degree of how much the bentage is going to determine the degree of how you get to the goal or not. So what we're doing is creating alignment.
Now, I want to ask you this before we wrap up, and this is going to be within two. The last question before we wrap up is going to be, what do you know for sure? But I just really want to know, children. You have so many people that look at children and newborns that maybe die before birth or didn't actually live, and people say, well, what happened in those situations? Now, I've been told that, of course, sometimes it can still be the thought process of them feeling they couldn't get certain things. You have all these kind of sicknesses. What is your opinion when it comes down to neuro-linguistic programming and how parents or people should interact with children in that aspect?
that is a sort of multi-tier question, and I've got some clarity on what you're asking, and then there's another part of it that I'm not completely clear on. But let's start with this. With children, NLP is what they're already doing.
Right.
Yeah.
I've worked with kids, and they're the easiest because they have less of that cloud
to get past.
Yeah,
right.
They're open. They're ready. Their inner child is there. They get this. What happens is they have behavioral flexibility too. Kids know how to get what they want. They want that ice cream. Mommy, please, please, please. They'll go over. They'll go around. They'll go through. They'll go improvise, adapt, overcome. They'll do whatever they need to do to get what they want.
Right.
They're unstoppable machines or beings, right? But what happens is, as time, we get programmed to buying into the lack and limitation of everybody else around us. Eventually, we start wearing that coat. The question is to remember not wearing the coat. So with working with kids, it's so simple, it's so easy, so powerful. And it's the core of who they already are. So it's in alignment with who they are. And so we can learn a lot by watching our kids and how they handle things. Because a lot of them are handle things much more grown up than us adults do.
Right.
Okay, I don't think they'd be having the wars that we have around the world in much the same way because there'd be they'd be focused on being happy and doing the simple things.
That's true.
And sharing and caring and learning and growing. That's why we're supposed to be here.
So now, how do they get sick then? Like when you see someone, they say, how does this happen?
How it happens
this child
is
out of this happiness? How does it happen?
What happens is in timeline therapy, we talk about it. There's a gestalt. There's a root cause event that tells us, oh, something else. I feel safe. Everything's going along hunky-dory and perfect in my life. All of a sudden, I fall off my bike. I scrape my knee. I see blood. My mom comes out. My dad comes out. They freak out. They scream, "Oh my God, what were you doing?" And my parents were concerned for my health, but what was communicated or what I communicated to myself with the limited thinking I had at the time is I messed up. I'm not good enough. I let my parents down. I'm stupid. I can't do it. I'm not enough. And what happens is that becomes the root cause. That becomes a perception because it's a highly emotional event.
Right.
Imprinted in the imprinted in the unconscious mind because highly charged emotional event with this belief. Now what happens is that becomes the thought that's in the mind. And what we learn about law of attraction is that which you think, you'll attract. So now the child has all these things that happens later that would show them that they are quite smart.
Right.
They get good grades or they do this or do that. But that's not what they're focused on. They're focused on, at the unconscious level, perpetuating the same story of I'm not smart. So all the things that show them that they're great qualities, they delete because it's not in harmony with what that powerful emotional event said was the reality of them. And now they start seeing only the things that confirm to them the old story.
Wow.
And then that becomes part of the gestalt. It becomes a continual pattern, a domino effect. And the law of attraction says you're going to attract that which is the story that you hold in your mind is who you are. So what we're doing is remove that story.
Right.
And embrace the story that you were born with, which is you came to this world for a purpose, to do something absolutely exceptional. God bless individuals like Oprah Winfrey. God bless individuals, that are on this planet that are accomplishing great things because they're showing us
how to do it.
How to do it. And I'm here as a tour guide to help you, take you along a journey to give you these tools so that you can have this life for you too that I've been able to achieve for myself, that I've worked with Shereen, and she's, oh my gosh. Yeah, Shereen is just growing leaps and bounds. And
I'm so happy to have her here.
She is going to do something monumentally huge in her life. And I know that and I see it. And it's being birthed even now, even more in this moment.
Right.
And I was sitting outside, I'm listening to you, and I'm like, that's my boy. That's my boy right in there. Yes, the three of us.
Yes.
The three of us together can create a ripple effect. Just like Oprah's ripple effect, just like, that is felt around the world, and we can create huge monumental change.
Yes.
And the law of attraction starts with action.
Yes, I agree with that action. Everybody, we're going to be wrapping up this show, and as we do, I just want to get one last thing from you that you can throw out. If there's one thing that you know for sure, if you can do it in a few words or not, what is one thing that you know for sure that you can put out there to the audience that they can leave with about NLP and life in general from what you've researched?
One thing
you know for sure, really quick.
Right now, focus on what were the greatest successes in your life, not your greatest failures.
Good point. Good point. Good point. And you've heard it here, everybody. We are so live and in effect. We are still here. We're getting ready to wrap us up. This is OWN, the Oprah Recap Show. I'm your host, Brookshire. We want to thank you so much, Kai, for coming in the building. We definitely have to have you back on. One of the things we're doing right now is on our Oprah. We introduced an audiobook club last week, and we're doing Unlimited Power by Tony Robbins. So, you know, definitely want to bring you back in because I thank you. Because, you know, not all the time you can get to these type of people that have this way of thinking. And so it feels so good to be able to be around someone else and you can in that kindred spirit. So thank you for being here. We appreciate you. Miss Shereen, of course. Now that I'm getting to know this guy, I know he's sprinkling all his remnants on you, and you're bringing them here. So we definitely thank you, and of course, DJ, we appreciate you in the booth, keeping us looking good. Everybody, remember, where the mind goes, the body follows. You are someone. Remember, you are someone. So make sure that you act like it. Act like it. And here we again are the OWN Oprah Recap Show. Everybody, until next week. Peace.
Peace. From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later!
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.